My co-author and I, Cassie McGillner, got interested in this idea of not just individual activities, but how might multiple activities, so the way that we fill different periods of our time and the variety among those activities, how might that affect our happiness? And so that's what we do in this paper. We look at how the variety among people's sort of everyday activities can impact how happy they feel. And we do this by looking at different chunks of time. So people tend to plan their time in the same way as calendars. So we think about filling 30 minutes of our time, an hour of our time, maybe a day. And so we looked at these different time periods to see whether spending time on a greater variety of activities makes people happier afterwards or not. And what we found is that over longer time periods, like a day, a week, or a month, spending or even perceiving more variety in how your time was spent makes people happier. So for example, if I look back on a Saturday that's filled with a lot of different types of activities, maybe I went to brunch with friends, maybe I went for a walk with my spouse, maybe I played with my dog, that variety makes me feel happy. But when we jam variety into smaller chunks of time, so 30 minutes or an hour, that variety actually makes us unhappy. So if we think about a varied hour at work, spending time working on a presentation, making phone calls, and answering emails, different activities, that will actually lead us to feel less happy at the end of that time. We looked at the mechanisms, the reasons for these patterns, and we found some interesting results. So over longer time periods, we find that variety makes people happier because it's stimulating and exciting. So switching between different types of activities gives us the stimulation that we need to not get bored. But over shorter time periods, that same switching, that same extra stimulation undermines our feelings of productivity. And so we don't feel like we've really gotten anything done in that time, those shorter periods of time, and that makes us feel less happy as a result. And so when thinking about does a greater variety of activities make us happier, our results provide an answer, sometimes, but not always. And while variety might be the spice of life, it is not the spice of an hour.